Alright, so this is where we stopped in the previous video, which is just our, our basic body shape. And I also want to try and do one thing, which is we can try and, if you want to smoothen out this area, like it's not important, but if you want, you can try to do like a simple group and then smoothen it out that way. So we can just take a simple group here and we can group by bounding box. Okay, so just zoom out and bring this up. Yeah, and we can set it to points and you can take a smooth. We can call this, let's call it SM. And so here I can just come in, I'll turn off, I'll keep constraint boundary groups to none and we'll just call it SM. So it's just going to smoothen out, hold on. Okay, sorry, I think it's supposed to be a primitive selection. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that will give you like a nice clean line down here. So you can just define like if you want it, smooth or not. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to start breaking this up using a Voronoi fracture. And the first thing that we want is we want to create a symmetrical pattern. So we're going to clip this. So we're going to clip like half of it. So we'll keep the direction in x-axis and you'll just have like half of this with you. Okay, so this is set. So this is our basic body. And now what we want to do is, if you look at the original file that I had, this is essentially what we are going for. So the neck, the head is mostly like one area because I don't want to generate patterns there. The chest is one area. The red section is a separate plate for the breast. And then I have this blue, which is essentially for the heart. So we want to generate a Voronoi fracture and then build up attributes so we can separate everything out. So what we'll start off with, like just to show you something really basic, right? So we can just take, let's say we take a box. And I'm going to take a box here and we'll just move it up. And I'll make it bigger like that. Yeah, so I'll bring it down till about, till about here. Okay, I think this is good. And then I'll make it polygon mesh. We'll give it about 5 in the x-axis and the others we'll keep it to 4. Okay, and then let's also do one thing. We'll take a clip here and we will cut this in half as well. Yeah, and then I can take, if I just directly plug this into a Voronoi fracture, okay. So I'm just going to take this and we will give it a random color. So just, so we can see what is going on. So I'll just give it a color and make it random. And then we'll take a Voronoi fracture. I'll make this, we'll shape it like that and we'll make it green. And before we connect anything, let's do a few things. I'm going to turn off create interior surfaces and turn off compute interior normals because we don't need those. And we can say copy cell point attributes. We'll copy to primitives and I want to copy the color. And so if I connect this here and this one there, that's basically what we get. Okay, like the whole thing sort of breaks up into a pattern. Now, what you want to do is, this is the basic thing, and what we would like to do is, like right now it's not going to generate anything random. Okay, but what we can do is we can take a point jitter. We don't want anything in the x-axis. So the x-axis is 0. The scale can be slightly lesser. Let's just plug this in. So we have this. And so if I plug that in over here, you'll see like now your pattern is a little more interesting, right? See, this is at 0. So it's very straight lines. It's not, very interesting. But if you make it a little, if you give it a little bit of noise, then you start seeing some, interesting patterns being generated. Don't go too high, then it just gets like a basic Voronoi. So what you want is you want some straight lines and a little bit of it will break. And then along with this, if I wanted to start generating a random pattern, I can just come into the seed and put in @time. And so now every time I change the frame, you'll see that it keeps giving me a random structure. So this is effectively what we are going to do. Now, along with this, we want to be able to, separate this out later. Okay, so I want like the chest section to be separate and the neck section to be separate and the head section to become separate. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take a wrangle node and we'll simply just create an integer attribute. Okay, so I'll just take an I, we'll say I at chest is equal to 1. And then here I can just give it that attribute at primitive level called chest. Now, this is fine. This is for the chest, but now we need to, start building up more stuff. So I'll take this, let's just put it into a network box and we can call it chest cuts and we'll keep it to one side. And then I can start adding in more stuff. So let's say I want something for the neck. So for the neck, I'll just take a simple circle. Okay, I'm just going to take a circle here and I'm going to move it up. Sorry, let's take a transform. So yeah, don't rotate it. Let's make this like ZX. Okay. And I'm just going to take this and move it all the way up till here. And slightly smaller radius. Again, make this as polygon. Okay, and we'll keep it to about 8 sides. And again, I can just clip it. Yeah, I'll give it a single color. So I'll just take a color. The colors aren't really important, but it helps you differentiate everything. Okay, so let's just make this say blue. And let's give this a slight point jitter as well. +3, so it's slightly different. And 0.2. And we'll again take a wrangle here. And let's call this as chest wrangle, and we'll call this as neck wrangle. Okay, and the same thing, I'll just do an I at, so the I is for integer, the I at neck is equal to 1, and then we'll merge these two together. So what we should get immediately is some amount of differentiation. See, so now that part is the neck, and then as we move it around, see, so nothing on the top is really changing, except a little bit is happening here, but we'll take care of that as well. So now if I come in here and I plug in neck as well, so what we should be able to get is if I take a delete, okay, and I'll say delete by expression, and I'll do at neck less than 0.9, and see, so everything, so nothing else has an attribute of neck except for this area. So you can easily just, break out the neck from the rest of the body. So we'll keep this, we won't do this right now. Let's just build up the rest of the stuff for now. So what we want along with this is, so again, let's take this, as I said, I'm trying to be more organized this time. Okay, so we'll call this as neck cuts. And then let's we'll take a simple line. And I'm going to put this in the Z direction. We'll take about 3 points. I'm going to take a transform. This is going to be for the head. So we'll just take this and move it up. Yeah. Let's just keep it there. Let's increase the length a little bit. Okay, like that. And I'm just going to rotate it so it sort of fits in over here. Okay, I don't think I'll need to do a jitter over here because I'm really not going to do anything with the head as such. So we're not really going to bother with it, but we do need the color. So let's do Control C, Control V. We'll get the color to be, I don't know, something darker. And then I'll do Control C, Control V. Yeah, let's call this head wrangle. And we'll do I at head And again, just, merge it in there. So there you go. Okay, and then we can just put in head. Make sure they're all coming to primitives, because though that's what we want to delete. You don't want to put it to like point attributes. And then if you want, like, you can start adjusting. So if I take this transform and I move it down, see, so I can like define how much area, the neck should essentially take up and how much area the head should essentially take up. And then we can just sort of see, so now those points are not coming over to the head. And similarly, if I take this transform and try to push it down, see, so I can adjust the neck a little bit like that. So you can make, it's not like 100% controllable, but it's good enough for you to get the result that you want. Okay, so I think this is fine. Okay, again, take this, we'll create a network box, call it head cuts. Okay. Okay, now I want what's going to happen with the chest is I'm going to randomly delete out certain pieces. So what I want is I want the breast to always be covered. Naturally, we don't want her to get naked all of a sudden. So I want to create a separate point here so that no matter what happens, that point will sort of always remain. Okay, so I'm going to take an add and we'll just create like a single point. I'm going to take a transform. I'm just going to bring this up here and out at this point. Okay. And the rest is the same. So we'll just do like, I can just pick up from here and let's make it like, let's not make it random. We'll just keep it constant and make it red and plug this in. So this is the breast. Plug it in. Yeah, so there you go. Okay, so if I come in here, so no matter what happens, there's that one point in the front which will ensure, that. So even if this gets randomly deleted, the breast section will always be covered. You can sort of move it around if you wanted to, slightly adjust it. So you can sort of, define, but you'll keep getting like random cuts like that, which is technically what we want. And then we want the same thing for the heart. So I'm just going to copy paste this. So Control C, Control V, and I want, this is going to be the heart. Or actually not the heart, it's way high up, but it's fine. Like we're calling this the heart. And this is going to be, let's make it green, but I'm going to just jump up the value, like make it really bright and take a transform and we'll move it. There you go. Yeah. So move it to the center, like move it 0 in X. Yeah. And define your location where you want it. So we can move it up, down. And this is, we want to bring in the breast and we want to bring in the heart. Yeah. So what we're essentially doing now is all of these sections we'll then be able to break up and get different results out of it. So that's effectively, the whole idea over here. Okay. So lastly, I want to create, let's just create two more. This is the breast. This is the heart. Okay. Okay. And then let's just see what else we want. Yeah. Okay. So we want 4 points. So I want 2 for the side, 1 for the abs and 1 for the spine. So we're just going to take like an add node. I'm going to create like 1 point and we'll just sort of duplicate all of it. Okay. So I'm just going to take this. We'll take a transform. So we'll call this, let's just call this abs and, bring it straight up here and out like that. Okay. So this is for abs and then Control C, Control V. We'll call this as sides 1. So this will come out here to the side, a little bit to the back, maybe up. Okay. And then Control C, Control V. This is side 2. A little further to the back. We can adjust it later as well. Like this is not going to be problematic. Yeah, one thing I can do is I can come into my display and come to geometry and just increase the point size. So we can we get a big enough point that we can see. And then lastly, do Control C, Control V. And this is, I'll make it 0 in X. Just bring it down. This will be my spine. Yeah, and we want to separate all of these out, so we're just going to take, let's do Control C, Control V, and we'll just set up colors for these. So I'll get them to like be black and white. And so this is going to be, this is the heart, and this is the breast. This is mostly just repetitive, but the idea here is that you can use Voronoi and generate like fairly controllable areas, that you don't normally think of, but you can generate some pretty interesting patterns with it. So then we have this, and this is my abs. So again, let's just call this abs, and then do Control C, Control V. These two will merge together. So I'm just going to do a merge, and we'll call this as side. Yeah, and Control C, Control V. Yeah, and so this is torso. Okay, and let's just adjust the color. So this will be dark, and then this will be bright. Okay, and then let's do one thing. Let's merge these together, so we're not dragging a really big line somewhere. And yeah, let's just take a look at this. So there you go. See. So now we can just adjust this a little bit. Okay, so I can just come in here, take this, take the abs transform and move it up. And we can do the same thing here. And on the side. And the spine. Yeah, I think this is good. Yeah, perfect. Move this to the side a little bit and down. Yeah, just adjust it till you can, till the points are in place. Yeah, I think this is good. Yeah, what we can do is we can just sort of lower it, or we can sort of like, adjust this. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is good. You can try to increase the segments. Like, I don't think you want to keep too many segments, then it causes like too many, panels, and like you don't want to create too many panels, right? It doesn't look very good then. Okay. So yeah, so just adjust it till everything looks okay. And there you go. Like instead of single points, you can also take a line. Like the more points it gets, the more easier it is able to control it. So if here instead of just 2 points, you want to take like, we want to take one additional point so that we can get this area in as well. You can easily do that. Like I can do Control C, Control V, add an additional point and just move it up. See, so now I can like, make sure that this is not like I'm getting some additional area in there as well. Okay. Or if you want to take a line here, that's fine as well. So those things can easily be done. But for now, I think we are okay with this. Yeah, you can try to, like, you can make adjustments further, like if you want, you can make this, say, let's try 0.2. No, let's go higher. Let's try 0.6. Okay. Yeah, you have to sort of make some adjustments because otherwise it causes issues. Yeah, I think overall we're good. Yeah, so this is perfect. So this is essentially, all the pieces that we want. And then I can just come down here to the Voronoi fracture and just bring in the rest of them. So I want the sides, the torso, and the abs. Okay, and I want to do one more thing, which is I want to be able to randomly delete, Voronoi patterns out of my chest area. So what I'm going to do is in the chest triangle, I'll create another attribute. We'll just call it f at, say, C, and this will be the point numbers. So at pt num. So what's going to happen is that whatever these point numbers are, okay, they will each each piece will store those point numbers. Okay, so later on then if we want to delete those point numbers, it will be easier for us to do that. So I can just come in here and I can also bring in C. Yeah, so this is basically it. So this is everything that we want. And if I just do a simple mirror over here, okay, and then just for fun, I'm going to like take the cut plane offset and make it like 0.01. See, so you'll just get like, you know, pieces like that. And so there you go. You have like a perfectly usable random pattern generator. Yeah, I think I want the heart section to just move out a little because it's too big. So just take the heart. I'm going to take the transform and just move it out. So it's not like that big. Yeah, or let's do one thing. Let's just take the box and we'll make this about 7. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, this looks nice. Yeah, this is a lot better. Let's just play this. Yeah, we're getting nice pieces out of this now. Okay, so I can just come back to the Voronoi and we'll make this 0. And there you go. This is your basic, you know, pattern structure. Okay, so starting with the next video, we will first isolate the chest area and we'll start building a pattern for that because that is like the main section, and then we'll continue from there.